ACI 1948 here. Today we're going to go over this Craftsman Power Products, whatever this guy is. I'm still not sure what that logo is. Anyone know? Bush mower, and we're going to strip it all down and give it a fresh paint job. We got it running good in the last video on it. What we're going to be using today is some Rust-Oleum aircraft remover to take the paint off, and then metallic for the body. And this color shot, which is kind of a weird premium spray paint, vibrant color. They got odd colors. This one's called Stiletto. Red. I've never actually used this before. And Walmart, I don't know who's in charge of making the paint colors, but they didn't have a lighter shade of red. So I was like, I'll just get this and try it. But there are a lot of poor paint colors I will never use on the shelf. And they got rid of some good ones. Sunburst red or sunrise red I used on the case. I really like that color, but no more. So I'm going to fire up the pressure washer. Oop, wasn't ready. Or that was choke off. There it is. Wow, I'm not going to need much paint strip, am I? Wish everything cleaned up that easy. Quite impressive. I don't think we're going to paint under here, but we're definitely going to paint it up. Much better. Here's all we have left paint-wise. I think that paint strip will do a good job, because that paint really doesn't like to stick to, I believe this is aluminum or magnesium. It's probably aluminum. It's one or the other. So we're going to take this flywheel off, and we're going to take the engine off, and this gas tank, because we're going to do this in silver, this in silver. Well, in reality, we could leave the gas tank on there, just tape off this little decal. As long as this is off, this is going to be red. This might have been a red ring. I think we may go for that, because that would look pretty good to offset red and silver. We'll go with that. So we're going to start off with taking this top nut off in the flywheel. This here is a 5/8. I don't know how hard this flywheel is going to be to get off here. Here's the top bit, has a lock washer on it. And we have another big washer, it looks like. Washer, it is grooved, kind of bent down around. And we have this. I was hoping these would come off in 2 sections. So we're going to clean this up, do this red. And this is actually the flywheel. Oh, there's a little like foam plate. Careful with that. And then you have the flywheel itself, which is round, which is not something you normally see on a flywheel. It almost looks like a bell. Now we got to see about getting this off here. There's not much of a lip around this whole flywheel. So we're going to try get it just under the edge. I'm just barely on it. Give it a couple whacks. That is on there good. Not having much luck with that. Dang. No, don't want to do that. threads with that. Dang it. Shattered the thread. I'm going to play with this off camera a bit. There's such a thin little lip around there. Having a heck of a time getting this off. I got such a thin little lip to grab onto down there. My three jaw puller isn't gonna, its fingers are way too wide to get up under there. Not having much luck with the normal put a pry bar under it and hammer it technique. I am kind of messing up the top of the nut more than anything. So we're going to do this silver anyway. We're just going to leave this all alone, right? Right. Okay, we'll just continue on, and considering this has spark, I'm not going to mess with this one. We'll mess with the next one because it might need spark, might need the points cleaned, but for the sake of the video, we're just going to leave this alone and paint this all as one unit. We got off what we really needed. Well, now that we made that executive decision, we're just going to take the blade off and then the engine. There. We have a lock washer, a big washer. Put this down and get both hands on it. Looks like a thinner washer. That's just part of that blade. Nope, it's a thinner washer. She just left it on there. The blade, what looks like another washer behind that. And a seal of some sort. Nope, not the seal. So I had a washer behind it. This was facing downwards. And it's got like rubber around it to help keep gunk out of here. So we're going to try and keep that together how it should be. The next step will be removing the bolts that hold the engine on. And everything on this from here on out is a 1/2 inch. Now the question is, what's really holding the engine on? It's probably these four holding the engine itself. Now I need to be careful, because this engine will fall and hit the ground. Yep, she's ready to come off there. Just gonna grab it and hold on to it, and we'll back these out the rest of the way. Wrong bolt. What am I doing? These both have lock washers and normal washers on them. And now the engine should just lift on out of there. And there you have the whole Power Products engine off the deck. Some sort of goo here. Not totally sure. I don't think it's mud. No, it's actually like a goo, like a paste, a cream. Not totally sure what that's about. So now that we have the engine off the deck, we're going to hit this with some clean paint remover. So we're going to do this on the ground. Try and find you an interesting piece of paint to look at. I'll hit this spot first. This has the Bondo on it. Uh-oh. Always check your caps. There's no spray tip in this. Hooray. It's a good thing I got a lot of cans around. Well, I got this off a Magic can. It was an old one I used to paint the case with. Let's see if it'll work. We'll shake this up good and give her some sprays. We'll give it a shot. That's why I put gloves on. I was worried it wouldn't spray out like it needed to. Hooray! Why didn't you come with the right? And it kind of goes. I don't think that's how it's supposed to spray out of there. Yeah. We're going to have to look around and see if we have another another spray nozzle. This isn't faring very well for this can. I definitely need help with that. Oh my goodness, what is going on? That's awful. Why didn't you just come with the right one? It's like there's no air in this can. That's awful. Alright. Well, I guess we'll just get a brush and kind of brush around what we could get out of it. The main reason I'm so upset about this, I spent $20 on this can. I just have to go back to Walmart and ask for a refund on that. That's just bad. Look at that. Well, after messing around with that can, I finally got it to work, kind of, sort of. As you can see, we're crackling paint off. So I went ahead and just did the engine. I was hoping to get like a nice time-lapse video of the paint coming off, but that can was in such spurts that it didn't really work out. So we're going to leave that on there for a couple minutes. Then we're going to come back and pressure wash, hopefully, most of the paint off. We'll sand off what we got to. I didn't think about it, but I am going to have to remove that gas tank again so I can paint the tank silver, that red, the air breather red. I don't know, should I do this in green? I gotta see how much it takes to, that base plate, oh, shouldn't have touched that. I don't know, I think I'm just going to do it silver. We'll see when we get in there, because that other ring's going to be red. We'll have red, green. Yeah, it might look green, good green. It might offset the red ring in there, so we might go with that. I'll call the deck ready. Maybe not. If you don't blow away on it. Oh, that one's taken off and put it over to the other side of this. Try to get the tip here. We got the turbo nozzle on there now. Should have started with this. Might just take some sandpaper and finish this off. Let's see about these. I should get really good on that. Next thing we're going to do is take this plate off. There are 4 bolts holding it on. I took 2 out already. Well, I guess 3. I don't remember that one backing off. I didn't think it did. Well, maybe huh. Alright. So we just got 1 holding it. I had to go get a wrench. The last one didn't just come out on its own. There we go. These again have lock washers behind them. Here's the plate. What's that? Well, it did have one of these little spring washers on the top, but it's broken. Did the other ones have that? I don't remember them. I didn't see them. Yeah, they did. Okay, they all had those little flat washers on the top with the, I'll show you. This style washer, little locking washer. Can you see? Yeah, there you go. Kind of, sort of. So make sure those are on there. I had one that was broken. Somebody did some work up underneath here. It must have been getting a crack. There's a piece of metal inlaid in there and riveted in, along with, I already knew about this. I didn't realize that was there. But this here's been bonded over on the outside. Someone went through the effort to bondo it to make it look better. I see that a whole lot with people's just fixes. Guess we'll fire up the pressure washer and get the inner side of this ring and the top of the deck. Pretty good. Better. So now that we got those somewhat cleaned up, we're going to take a 9/16 and what are you, 3/4, and take these wheels off so they're out of the way. I don't think I'm going to paint the wheels. I do have one gripe here. This is just, you need a really thin wrench to get onto this one. So we're going to try going for it first. Alright, that was the one that worried me the most. We do have 3 different holes for height adjustment. But I will say the newer mowers are a lot easier to do when it comes to that. Because that one I've got now, you got one handle and had to adjust all 4 wheels. Whereas this, you have to take each one off individually and adjust it, which isn't terrible. It's just, it is time consuming. We're going to leave these alone. They cleaned up all right. I don't think I'm going to paint them. I didn't grab any white paint because I thought they were fairly good. Another one. You remember which one these are all went to? What your bolts look like. You got a big flat spot for the wheel to ride on. These do have a washer with a little lock washer behind it, a little springy one with the splines. So now we have a deck with no wheels. It's a Flymo. No, it's not. But it's pretty lightweight though. Were you not recording for any of that? What? Oh my. So now I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper. I just got this. Start sanding it down. Nice thing is, this paint seems to be coming off fairly easy. Might be in the way now. really want to use a wire wheel or anything on this. I don't want to scuff it up too much because it's soft metal. If I had a brass one, maybe that'd be ideal, but I don't. Doesn't have to be totally perfect either. I just got to beat the thicker stuff that's going to stand out down. I need to find a piece of sandpaper. This one just wore out. Got me some better sandpaper. Over here, I'm not going to fret too much on that because it's bondoed. The stuff that wants to stay on there, we're just going to leave on there. Oh, those are brass rivets, aren't they? What's that one is? Yeah, they are. No, that's silver. What's that? Oh, that's quite a clump on there. Old. Sure if I'd be ahead, just peel that off there. Or it's coming off in one chunk. There it goes. Oh man, I see why now. It was covering up quite a good repair. It's solid. Oh, there's a crack right there too. That's what this is for. So this thing's just being held together. Not the strongest decks in the world, that's for sure. Oh shoot, I wasn't expecting to Bondo anything. I don't have any Bondo. We're gonna go ahead and paint this and finish it out, and then we can always come back to this later. Because it's, you know, that needs to be all covered up too. Doesn't have to be perfect. If anything, it shows its wear scars. I don't understand what this was off of to have holes like that with rivets through it. Unless this piece used to be on here and it broke off or something like that. Could be. If so, they drilled a few too many holes for it, I think. Look a little closer at it. They might have put those rivets in there to give the Bondo something to really stick to. Because they got it like double layered in here. See? We got like an inner bit. And is that more Bondo or is that... Yeah, it's just more Bondo. Yeah, whole thing. Probably could have saved that. And, oh well, doesn't matter now. So we're gonna have to live with this big lump. I'll see if I can pushes a lad off or something. That Bondo is hiding a big crack along there. So there's a piece of metal under here holding that and that together. These are little screws they're screwed into that piece of iron under there. Then you got this chunk missing and a big crack. We're going to go ahead and paint this deck. The color of choice today is meadow green. I think it's going to match it fairly closely. I couldn't find the exact shade. Everything was either too light or too dark. So we're going to go with that. This is some Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover, paint and primer. So that's why I'm not going to primer it. We'll see how well this works out. This paint does fairly well. I've had good results out of it before. It's looking like a new mower already. I wasn't recording on the other section, darn it. Missed it. So much wind out here is making things difficult too. We're gonna take these off and oh, we got runs starting. We're gonna take these off and do them later. I left it on there for a grab handle so I can move this easier. Beginning to think primer might have been helpful on this. Oh well. Again, to realize it's been a while since I've painted anything too. The case was the last thing I did, and I did that with a gun for the most part. How's that look? Better? Can't look worse. Something up in there we missed. We'll get down the second coat. I don't know, I'm just having better luck not having you on the tripod. We're going to lay it on thick and heavy. That looks a lot better with the second coat on it. And we might have to touch that up. For the most part, yeah, that looks a lot better than where we started at. I found the model number and stuff for this. It's a model AV36 Type 2 F2004, Power Products Corporation, Grafton, Wisconsin, it says. It's right there around the ring of, it sits right there and that sits on top of it. You're supposed to be able to read it. So if that ring's been changed or it's missing, you might not know what model your engine is. Now I'm going to have to look that up and see exactly if we can get exact date on that engine. I just said 52 because it was roughly in that age range. Thinking about how we're going to paint this, we'll do this in silver, this in green, then this will be red, and then the engine's going to be silver, and this bottom plate will be red again, and then we'll have the green deck. That's what we're going to go with. So this color shot, designed to be everything regular paint, isn't. Well, it still requires a primer, and they apparently have their own primer for it because they're recommending it. So we're just going to take some Rust-Oleum Primer. I'm a little scared to do that because sometimes I've had primers not play well with other paints before. And maybe we'll just, well, no, let's try that because let's see if this paint, we're just going to do this top. No, let's do that first because that'll be easier to clean off. This here's got a lot of nooks and crannies. We're going to just shoot this with some of this 2x flat gray primer, and we'll see how this color shot reacts, because sometimes paint, you put a primer down and the top paint just doesn't like it and it crackles up and makes it shrink. And I've had weird stuff happen before with primers that don't like the top coat you're putting on it. So we'll see what happens here. So we'll let the primer set up good. While we're waiting on that, we can do the silver and the green. Oh yeah, that looks good. Covers that old paint right up. We're going to give this color shot a try. I don't even know how well it sprays. Oh, it's a big. I wonder how long this can's going to last. That's a lot of paint coming out at once. It's not doing the best coverage in the world, is it? I don't know. We'll see. Let that set up. Looks like it did okay with the primer. It's still setting up though. But I think we're just going to hit this without any. The base will have primer and this won't. We'll see how long it lasts down the road, because you know I'm probably not going to get rid of these mowers. Oh, it's just a weird can. It feels like a deodorant can more than anything. Yeah, it looks like it covered it fairly well. Don't have too much in the way of runs. A little bit down here. But they're letting so much spray out. I've never had one that did that much spraying ago. I don't know, I'm not real impressed. It's very runny, putting so much out. We'll let it sit and come back and give it a second coat. It's pretty dribbly. Maybe I needed to go slower on it because it was letting so much out. This might not have been the best thing to try on it. If I had to get down in all these little fins and everything. Oh, we'll come back, give it a second coat. I got all the runs ran out to the base, so it shouldn't be too terrible. It covered it. It's very runny. I'd probably put it on way too heavy. Yeah, definitely put it on too heavy. So some of that was operator error. Doesn't seem to be having any negative effects with the primer though. I've probably been ahead just to do that, but like I say, we'll test it and see how this paint is without primer and with primer. Even though this thing's probably going to live in a shed, so I don't know if it's the greatest test for that. This seems to be some very thin paint. If this was Rust-Oleum, it would have covered that a lot better. Come over here to where we had Rust-Oleum as a primer. It seems like it did a better job. Yeah, look at that as it dries on. It's really shrinking in there. Well, shoot. Guess I should have just stuck with what I know. I'll give another coat when it dries out, but I don't think anything I do in red's going to look very good. Thankfully, it's just that and that. Because it's just those two things. We went over how to take the carburetor off in the last video, so I'll leave you to watch that if you want to see it. But I do think I mentioned that you just have to loosen these two bolts up a little bit for that to slide out of there. Take these two screws out, just loosen them up a bit, and this tank will slide off. I spoke too soon. This bracket here and this need to be red as well, but that's not terrible. I just hosed it down with some brake clean. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to paint this whole thing silver. I got to take the gas tank off. We're going to paint this strap here, strap in this part, and the cup red, and we're going to do the tank in silver and the gas cap in red, providing that can has enough red in it to do that. I think we're ready. Make sure we've got the right paint. We'll get started on it. Shiny. The spark plug really didn't need to get chromanized, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm going to try and miss the spark plug wire, although it's been kind of got by whoever last painted this up. Not too worried about the spark plug itself. I can clean that. Got like a spider web or something painted. Turned out all right. Not perfect, but this whole thing's not going to be perfect. Nothing else, at least the cap's going to be red. Boy, I don't know who designed this. That's so much out, and it doesn't cover very well. It like blows it away. I don't know what the goal of this is. Look at that. That paint is so thin. It's just look at that. Everything I did is just like falling off of it. Let me read the directions again. It says apply 1 light coat at a time. Well, when this thing's putting out a gallon of paint in a go, I don't know how you're doing anything light. Well, that was a bit of an ordeal getting that off there. These are just kind of a pain to, you kind of had to take pliers and hold it and get those nuts loose. But the tank's off. I kind of washed it off. Messed up that sticker a little bit. Be careful there. I need to find some tape and tape it off. We're going to do this in silver, this in red. I really wish I had one of those sandblast cabinets. When I get the shop all done up, I already know where I'm going to put one. So one of those will be coming at some point. Hopefully we can do better quality stuff once I get more set up here. Because I'm just kind of in a hurry. I don't want to leave this thing all apart for too long. I don't have anywhere to put it in pieces that, you know, I just want to get it back together so I can just throw the whole thing back in the shed. Kind of how I did with that case over there. And just got it somewhat done. Not quite where I wanted it, but threw it back together so it'd be out of the way. That's just the way things are going at the moment. My goodness, look at that. Just look at it. Just look at it. Would you look at that? Well, we'll hit it with another coat. What awful paint. I will never buy this paint again. Never. Even if it's a color I need for something. That's just awful. Alright, we're going to try light coats. Light enough? I'd say the coverage wasn't even that great for all the aerosol I put out. Even still. I'll take Rust-Oleum any day. It's coat number 3. Shouldn't have to take 3 coats to do it. That looks okay. Did get the sticker somewhat taped off, so better than it was. Silver's so easy to work with. Think that'll do it. Kind of saved it. Not perfect, but it took a little bit off. I'm gonna hit some more color shot on here. See how good that Rust-Oleum covered, and then we go do this part, and it's covering kinda till it starts to dry, and then it'll soak it in. We're just going to give this a second coat while we're here, because it needs it. We'll let that dry, and then I think that's everything, isn't it? Yeah, we can start putting it back together. Here it is going back together. And the top bit. That's not a bad look. Update on the nest. We sprayed it the other day and it's still going. Here's a little before on the blades. I'm gonna just hit them with the bench grinder real quick. We'll see what we can get. realized my bench grinder really needs to be dressed or new wheels put on it, but well, we got a little bit of sharpness on the blade at least. That's interesting, 19430. Not sure if that's a part number or what. Can't be a date. Before I show you the rest of the mower, let's clean up the handle a bit. I got a little bit of Comet sprinkled on there, a little spray bottle, and some aluminum foil. Let's see how well this comes out. I kind of tried it some here. Water it down. That's not good on that fresh paint. See what happens. We do. It'll come out. Oh yeah, that's good. Too bad about that. I don't think that's going to come out, but at least the handle look good. I don't think this is the right handle for this. Mostly because it's got holes in it for like a release bar, but I think it's the wrong style handle. But it's what's on it, so we're just going to roll with it. Lot better than what we started at. Yes, so it's getting wore out. Getting all broke down. Getting fall apart deep, isn't it? So I'll bring it back okay-ish. It won't be perfect. Neither is the rest of the restore, repaint, rough repaint, quick repaint. It's not quite perfect. We'll get this done. Are you ready? I made the decision to paint part of the handle. It was just that bad. So what do you guys think? It's not perfect. This here's definitely a lot rougher looking than when we started. But maybe we can fix that someday with some Bondo, don't know. The wheels turned out okay. I couldn't see a point in taping them off and repainting them. Like I say, the handle, some of it came back all right, and I just went ahead and painted the rest. It was pretty bad looking. You step back, it's not a bad looking mower. Christmassy. Got your red and greens going on. Well, now we're going to throw some gas in it and see if it'll mow. But you're going to have to wait till the next episode. So hit subscribe and stay tuned for more. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.